What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from This is Pop Punk Promotions. I'm here with Peter from Young Enough from Belgium.
Guys,
How's it going, Peter?
I'm good, man. I'm super excited to be here.
I really appreciate you coming on and chatting it up a little bit. Let's dive right into it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So when and how did you guys form?
So the band itself formed in like the second half of 2019. Started with a different singer at that point, and they had just started getting a couple shows and like a good set list going, and then of course the pandy came and kicked us all in the unmentionables. So that kind of went away, and I saw it was really random because when the pandemic hit, I sort of like, I mean, it was, once the winter came around and like you started getting into like this darker mind space, I just started banging out songs and music like I'd never done before. And I had played with John, we'd come across one of his earlier projects at a show with one of my other bands. And I saw a post on Facebook coming like, hey, do you want to be singer of a pop punk band? And I've always like pop punk was the intro to not only music, but also what I wanted my music to sound like Enema of the State, like the chunky guitars where you hear like the finger slide and stuff like that stuff. It was just stuck in my mind as like, that's what I want to do. So I've always had a soft spot in my heart for pop punk. So when I saw the post of John, I was like, I'm just gonna send him a message, record a couple lyrics, just a couple of like, it's like my heart hurts, really digging deep into the pop punk. And I just recorded a couple tracks and sent it back to them. And the response I got from them was like, dude, can you come to a rehearsal like next week? Because we want to try this stuff out live. And I was immediately down because, like I said, soft spot in my heart for pop punk, and it clicked immediately. We've all been in other projects before, so we kind of knew, the quote unquote like the basics of recording songs and setting them to get mixed and mastered. And so that was the beginning. It was a random that I saw the posts, recorded a couple vocals off the cuff, and then we have the current lineup of Young Enough. So
that's awesome. So
yeah.
You guys just released Human Virus. How's the response been?
I don't know how to describe the response because it's been so amazing, and amazing is an understatement. We put it out. We were super happy with the sound, with the video, but as well, because you've been in contact with so many bands, is you can be really proud of something, but if it just doesn't catch that wave, it sometimes it falls flat. And this did the exact opposite. We put it out there, and immediately the response has been insane. We reached 10,000 views on YouTube within the first 3 weeks, which none of us have ever experienced something like that before. So we're so stoked, and that's again an understatement. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Who did you guys record it with, and how was the process?
So even though Belgium's a pretty small country, they do live on like the other side of the country. So we knew that, rehearsing and recording would be very constrained to, getting 5 people's schedules together is a nightmare in and of itself. So we had 3 songs that we had like a big rehearsal session, and we decided on 3 songs that we wanted to put as the EP. And Human Virus just kicks you in the teeth right away. It's just from the get-go. So we thought we're going to put that online because in the current, social media culture, the first 30 seconds are important, whether you like it or not. So we thought we're just going to go with this, catches it right away. And then we got to recording it. So everybody, like I said, we all have like these USB interfaces. We all have basic knowledge of recording instruments at home. So each one of us kind of went to like each other's houses, recorded stuff. I went to the music studio run by the guitarist and drummer of my metal band. Recorded the vocals there, and then we sent it to Alias Studios, the guys from Chunk, No Captain Chunk. They have a studio, and so we sent them all our stuff, and they mixed mastered it and sent it back, and we were just blown away by the level of set. Like, these guys down to a T got the exact sound we were looking for, barely sent any feedback, and by the second time they sent it back, we were just blown away. So huge shout out to those guys. And then we were so stoked. So we immediately got in touch with somebody that could do a music video for us. And that was Terry, who is the singer of a band called Unbeliever as well. And he came up with this awesome idea. Well, we had like this idea of like an astronaut kind of looking at a ruined world, kind of a destroyed world because of, you know, the shit that's coming for all of us. Not to get too existential about it. So we threw together the music video, went on a 2-day shoot for the music video. Terry edited it, threw it together. And again, we were just absolutely blown away by what he put together. So we really felt so excited sending this into the into the internetosphere. And just to get the response of all the work that we put in and the expectations we had for it, to get a response that was beyond that is just absolutely insane. It was just awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome. So how's the alternative music scene there? Do you have a favorite local band, a favorite venue?
Well, I'm gonna for me, it's more from like my side of the country. I'm sure like the other guys, they have their own local scenes and stuff. So I'm speaking more anecdotally from my experience, but there's a city in Wallonia, so in the French speaking part of the country, called Tournai. It's called Doornik in Dutch. And they used to have a huge punk scene. Like back in the 80s, people would drive for hours to come to the shows in that town. And there's one venue in there called Canal 10. It's like right next to, I mean, it's not in that same city, but it's just this one venue that's also been running for so long. And it's housed so many up and coming bands. Also a lot of bands that are touring in the area here. So, yeah, I'll shout out Canal 10. Absolutely. I had some of the greatest local concert experiences ever there. So yeah, local bands, especially recently, the culture, like even before Corona, the culture, what do you call it? Like all the cultural stuff has been taking quite a bit of, I mean, I guess it's globally, right? That it's been taking kind of a hit recently. And Tournai, so like that city, it really felt it. So you have these fantastic bands with incredible talent, but it just fizzles out because they can't get the support just outside of the local sphere to get the next stepping stone to go up. So, I mean, there's so many bands that I want to list off, but that just aren't around anymore. So I'll abstain from that question.
Right.
So yeah, but just I'll change it to a huge shout out to make sure that you go support your local scene, especially now after Corona and stuff. You know, go to a show where you don't know any of the bands. Go buy a beer, listen to a couple songs, talk to them. I think that's worth so much more than people realize.
Absolutely. So who are your biggest influences?
Oh man, again, me personally, kind of runs the gamut, man. I got Blink-182 holds a special place in my heart because Enema of the State was the first album that I bought with my own money. And it had that, let's say, voluptuous nurse on the front of it. So I was like, I can't show this to my parents, you know, and there's like bad words in it. So definitely Blink for like the sound and the you know, the really, you know, opening me up to a world of distortion and heel kick drum patterns. And then I think a lot of classical music. Like my parents, we used to have these tapes called like Classics for Kids, where they do like tell stories but use the music from certain artists like Mozart, Vivaldi, Bach, and all that stuff. So Wagner, huge Wagner fan because he was the first metalhead. And then I think Lamb of God is probably up there just only for the lyrics that Randy can write. There's entire songs that I just repeated in my head in you know, slightly darker times that I used kind of like a mantra to get myself through it all. So yeah, Blink, and I mean countless others, but I'd say those are the top three. Yeah, classical music, Blink, and Lamb of God.
If you could tour with one of them, which one?
Oh fuck. If I could, I would love to have toured or composed or hung out with Beethoven. Just in his room, writing on the walls, pianos with, you know, strings broken and, you know, the legs have been taken out because he needs to feel the vibrations. Like, I would have just loved to witness his process. And then I'd love to tour with, and I hate to say it, but early 2000s Blink. Enema of the State, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, Blink. When they were really in their prime, kind of, changing, doing their thing, influencing the whole scene in the way that only they did. So, yeah.
Either one would be amazing.
Yeah, and just to like witness some Wagner with the octabass, he invented this bass that you needed to play with two people because he wanted more oomph. And that's so like Slipknot with the extra percussionists. It's just, we need that little extra, And Wagner's like, let's just get a 2-man cello, dude. Let's just get a contrabass and inflate it to twice the size so we can get the rafters shaking with the bass. Yeah.
That's a genre that I'm really getting into, is classical.
Oh, dude. I can give you a couple tips. Some stuff that'll blow you away.
Yeah, you'll have to send them to me after.
Yeah. Got you. No problem.
So now I'm going to ask you some non-music questions. It's a good way for me to get to know you. This
Sure.
bands I interviewed. Are you ready?
Yeah. Bring it.
All right. Favorite food?
Pizza. Sorry. Very cliche, but yeah, pizza.
Here's $1 million question for you. Do pineapples belong in pizza?
I'm never going to tell somebody what to eat on their food, but I would personally never, ever put pineapple on a pizza.
Oh!
I'm sorry. Yes, sweet goes very well with salt and can be good in general, but I am personally not a fan of the warm pineapple. Is not my thing.
Man.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. List and now you're going down. Give it a chance, dude. It's so good.
I know. I have. I definitely have. I've tried so many weird combos just to be like, I've tried it. I did it. And like I said, you throw a little bit of pineapple in like a chicken curry or something, no problem. But I can't do it on a pizza.
Fair enough. Would you rather explore space or the ocean?
Oh, space, no problem. Even though we do need to learn more about our oceans, and space is maybe not immediately priority, but me personally, Apollo 13 was one of the first movies I saw in the movie theater. I've been obsessed with space ever since I was a kid, so space. Yeah, definitely.
Did you see Interstellar?
Yes, absolutely.
So good.
Dude, and the whole time I'm a huge Stephen Hawking fan as well, so anything like relativity and all that stuff, I love it. I love it so much.
That's probably my favorite space movie.
Dude, it's
music
my top
was
3.
Outstanding. The acting was outstanding.
Yeah, and it's just also, Hans Zimmer is just a machine.
Oh, he's a man.
It's just, if I want to, like, his studio is my personal studio dream. That's the one I want. I want that one. So,
if you could be any animal, which one?
Oh man, I'd love to be a bird because birds are fantastic, and I think they're absolutely insane. I'd just love to be able to fly. But as a collective, I would love to be an ant because ants kind of just do what they're supposed to do to keep the collective going. And ants are insane. So yeah, either a bird or an ant. I'm gonna go with one of those two.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you some more ant stuff after the interview. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
So if you had $1 million and you could donate to any charity, which one?
Okay, very, very specific. I lived in Tanzania for a couple of years, and there was a hospital set up there by a Belgian dude called CCBRT. Started off doing cataract operations in the back of a van because they're very easy to do, and then built it out to this whole hospital, and now they have several wards and projects throughout the country. So I'm going to go very specific and say CCBRT Hospital in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania.
Very cool. So I'm a big Lord of the Rings guy. It's my favorite movie of all time.
Sure.
I'm a nerd, not gonna lie. So if you could be any Lord of the Rings character, which one?
Oh man. Oh damn. That's a good question. That is a very, very good question. Now I'm racing through all because this is completely unexpected. So I'm doing fast deliberations in my head. I would love to be an elf just because they are so insanely badass in that movie. Legolas, obvious because it's one of the most well-known, but I'd just go any elf would be fantastic. I'd love to be an Ent because they seem incredibly chill and capable of some serious badassery when necessary. Yeah, I'm gonna go for an Ent. I'm gonna say Ent. Just
That's
it
a
seems
different answer. I like it.
it just seems really cool to have a just so it seems like what we really need to do in the world right now is just sit and talk for, the conversation that usually takes a day, take a week to have it. Just sit down, sway gently back and forth in the breeze and just have the conversation.
I like it. Most people say Aragorn or Legolas or Gandalf.
Yeah. Ooh, Gandalf's a good one. Yeah, Frodo, obviously, but I like the underdogs. I like and that's also the historian in me. Is I'm a huge fan of the infrastructure behind keeping a soldier on the front line instead of just the action at the front line. And without the Ents, Frodo would not have been able to succeed in his job. Without the Ents, the whole thing would have been moot. So, yep.
All right, man. Last question. What are some places in Belgium that visitors should check out?
Oh man. Okay. Personal bias, Ypres, or the Ypres salient. So where all the World War I stuff happened. That's if you're a huge history nerd, go there. If you're more of a fan of architecture, I would say Ghent or Bruges are really awesome. And if you're a fan of steampunk, industrial, post-industrial, abandoned factories, go down to Liège or Charleroi, where it used to be the industrial heartland of the country. So now it's just full of old, abandoned factories. So if that's your thing, go there. Yeah. I would say Brussels and Antwerp, but those are usually the ones that get on, they're the top list anyway. So again, underdog. I'll give you the second on the list. The local secrets.
Very cool, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and chatting up a little bit. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Pop Punk Promotions.
Yeah, and thank you for having us on, man. It's awesome to be a band from Belgium doing an interview with somebody in the States. It's always awesome. Always awesome. So yeah, thanks for having us, dude.
Of course. So for the people that are going to watch this later, where can they find you guys at?
All the usuals. YouTube, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, iTunes, all of it. Just type in Young Enough Human Virus on the Google and and you'll find us. So yeah. And more importantly than anything else, talk about it to your friends. Tell people, word of mouth.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you have a great day, man. We'll chat soon.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. You have a good one.
See you.